I'm going to go over our Series 3, Series 45, and our Series 65 gate valves. So first we're going to start with a few things that these three valves have in common. Each of these valves have a 10-year warranty. We are proud of the quality of our gate valves and we stand behind our 10-year warranty. Here we have two video clips. The first is a brief sweep of our factory. In the second, you can see our valve assembly area and a bonnet being placed onto the valve body. The guide pins that you see help ensure that the bolt holes are aligned perfectly before installing the bonnet bolts. So also to ensure our customers' health and safety, all Series 3, 45, and 65 gate valves are certified to NSF 61 standards for safe drinking water and to NSF 372 for the low lead requirements of the Safe Drinking Water Act. These valves are all rated to 250 psi and are pressure tested at production to AWWA standards. The shell test is at 2 times the rated pressure, and the seat test is done at rated pressure. We also conduct low pressure testing to ensure no leakage. Each valve also undergoes an operating torque test to help ensure that the valve has been assembled properly and will perform as expected in the field. So as you can see from the picture on the left, all of our hydrants and valves have a unique serial number. On the valves, as you can see, it's etched into the stem. This unique number identifies several important details of the product, such as the date of manufacture, testing results, construction materials, and shipping information. This allows for full traceability for the industry's quickest and most comprehensive customer service. Next, we'll move on to the bonnet bolting. So the standard bolting material for all AVK gate valve bonnets is 304 and it will soon be 316 stainless steel as the standard option. The bonnet bolts are a socket head that require an Allen wrench to install and remove. The head of each bonnet bolt is sunk into a recess that is cast into the top outer edge of the bonnet. After the bolts have been installed and tightened, a hot melt glue is applied over each bolt head to help prevent corrosive water, dirt, and debris from contacting the bolt. The bonnet bolts are threaded into a blind hole that has been drilled and threaded into this top sealing surface of the valve body. The bolts are not secured with nut fasteners through an open flange, but are instead threaded directly into the valve body. As you can see, the O-ring bonnet gasket also wraps around each bolt to help prevent corrosion. This design completely isolates the bonnet bolts from any contact with water from inside or outside the valve. And if, many years from now, the valve is taken apart, the bonnet bolts would still look brand new. Now for the stem. The standard stem is 430F stainless steel for potable water applications, but we also have 304 and 316 stainless steel, as well as a bronze stem available as options. The standard 430F stainless steel stem threads are rolled and not cut to help ensure smooth thread angles for smooth valve operation and a work-hardened surface to resist wear. The 430F material is highly resistant to corrosion in applications where it is exposed to potable water. Stainless steel stems do not contain lead, zinc, or aluminum, so they are superior to the bronze stems in applications with continuous contact with drinking water. Now here's the wedge. The standard coating is an EPDM synthetic elastomer compound. EPDM stands for ethylene propylene diene monomer. The AVK EPDM rubber compound is approved according to the NSF 61 standard for contact with drinking water. Our EPDM is a synthetic rubber compound that is resistant to sunlight, ozone, chlorine, chloramines, rubber set, as well as tearing and cuts. In addition to being approved according to the NSF 61 standard for contact with drinking water, the EPDM rubber compound does not impart any rubber taste or odor into the water. AVK's breakthrough high-tech gate valve rubber production facilities are one of the world's most advanced and fully automatic mixing plants. Our proprietary rubber, as I mentioned, is resistant to sunlight, ozone, chlorine, chloramine, rubber set, and tearing. Our raw materials are weighed and dosed automatically, which reduces the risk of error considerably during manufacture. Our quality management systems include 100% control of each rubber compound, providing us with full traceability. And as always, AVK's extraordinarily clean and safe production environment make it possible to provide rubber components of a continuously high quality at the agreed time of delivery. Next, we'll move on to the wedge nut. A bronze wedge nut is locked into a pocket located at the top of the ductile iron core of the wedge. The surrounding ductile iron prevents any deformation of the bronze under heavy compression loads, such as over-torquing the valve in the closed direction. This allows the AVK gate valves to withstand much higher closing torques than are required by the AWWA C509 standard. For example, a 6-inch AVK Series 45 gate valve equipped with the standard stainless steel stem can withstand a closing torque over 1,800 foot-pounds and still be operable, where the AWWA standard only requires that it survive a closing torque of 350 foot-pounds. So our stem is over 5 times stronger than the standard requires. So this slide only applies to Series 45 and 65 and not to the Series 3. Our design with the convex wedge guides provides several benefits. It provides better tracking of the wedge. It provides less vibration and noise from the wedge. It can also act as a stiffening rib for the body, and this design contributes to lower body weight. And all of these features help ensure the long life of the valve. Now I'll move on to coating. Our Series 45 and 65 gate valves are normally fusion bonded epoxy coated in the AVK rust red color. It can be ordered in other colors, but note that not all color options are NSF 61 approved. PUR coatings are also available as an option. So this is supplied for very active and corrosive soil conditions and is for exterior application only. We also offer a high voltage coating. Some project specifications require high voltage, internal and/or external, holiday-free testing on gate valves. At AVK, high voltage and holiday-free testing is performed using a high voltage band brush test up to 5,000 volts direct current. Every surface of the external coating is tested to ensure that the coating is applied evenly and no coating holidays exist. Special attention is always paid to the seams and the ridges, which are common areas for coating flaws to occur. A certified high-voltage, holiday-free Velocor coating label is applied to each valve after passing the high-voltage, holiday-free test. This label is our guarantee that the product has passed our thorough testing process and is ready to be installed. No further testing is required. Now I will introduce the Series 3 NPT by NPT valve. The Series 3 is a small diameter gate valve available from 1 inch to 3 inch with female NPT by NPT end connections. It is used to control the flow of water in irrigation applications such as golf courses, a service connection, or a curb stop valve for water supply to residential homes and businesses that are usually not equipped with a water meter. In rural areas, the 2-inch NPT valves are often used as isolation valves on the Series 67 flushing hydrants. Now let's discuss design features of the Series 3. The bonnet bolts are countersunk and capped with hot melt to totally isolate the bolts from the corrosive environments. The Series 3 valve bodies have an external hex cast onto the valve body at the NPT threads so that a wrench can be easily used to screw the valve onto a threaded pipe. The materials for the 1-inch through 2-inch valves vary slightly from the materials used from the 2.5 and 3-inch valves. As you can see here, the 1-inch through 2-inch valves have different bonnet design from the 2.5 and 3-inch valves, which affects the material used. Here we break down the materials for the Series 3 1-inch through 2-inch gate valves. Series 3 comes standard with a 2-inch square operating nut. A T-cap or a hand wheel are also optional. The body, bonnet, and operating nut are ductile iron to ASTM 536 standards, providing superior strength. And the coating is electrostatically applied fusion bonded epoxy to AWWA C550 standards for excellent corrosion resistance. The wedge has a bronze core encapsulated in EPDM rubber, which resists attacks from chlorines, chloramines, and UV rays. The flat molded bonnet gasket, wiper ring, and stem steel O-rings are NBR, which is resistant to organic compounds that may be found in the soil where the valves are buried. The thrust collar is bronze. The two bonnet bolts are 316 stainless steel, sealed with hot melt to prevent corrosion, and the stem is 430F stainless steel standard with 316 stainless steel as an option. The bonnet gasket wraps around each bonnet bolt to help prevent corrosion, and the wiper ring prevents impurities from entering the stem and protects the O-rings. The stem seal O-rings help reduce friction and protect the stem from impurities entering from the waterway and prevent valve leakage. Next is the Series 3 2.5 through 3-inch valves. The Series 3 and 2-inch and 3-inch, 2.5 through 3-inch, come standard with a square operating nut, and a hand wheel is optional. As you can see, a number of materials are the same as the smaller valve. However, the wedge has a ductile iron core encapsulated in EPDM rubber, and the stem comes standard in 430F stainless steel with low zinc bronze as an option. So next we will introduce the Series 45 and 65 valves. Series 45 gate valves range from 2.5 inches through 16 inch and are available in OS&Y and NRS. The Series 65 gate valves range from 2.5 inch through 12 inch and are available in NRS. Hand wheels come standard on OS&Y valves and are available for NRS valves as an option. So this slide is just to represent the difference between a gate valve with a red and a black wrench nut on top. The black indicates a valve that is open left, while the red indicates a valve that is open right. Here's another feature on our MJ valves, which are the T-bolt anti-rotation lugs. Currently available on our Series 65, our valves equipped with MJ connections have anti-rotation lugs on the backside of the MJ flanges. The MJ lugs will help to prevent the rotation of the T-bolts as they're being tightened, making it easier to install the AVK MJ type valves into a pipe system. The anode lug, which is available on the Series 65, is an extra block of ductile iron material cast onto the valve body that can be drilled and threaded to enable the attachment of a grounding wire to help control galvanic corrosion. The hole that is drilled to accept the grounding wire is sized to accept two 10-gauge wires simultaneously. The anode lug is provided only on valves with MJ by MJ, MJ by flange, push-on by push-on, or push-on by flange end connections. It is not provided on valves with flange by flange end connections because these valves are usually installed above ground or inside a vault, where grounding against galvanic corrosion isn't necessary. The anode lug is offered as a safe alternative to the thermite blocks that are sometimes welded to a valve assembly to provide a place to anchor a grounding wire. The welding process can damage the valve coatings, and they're not always properly repaired before the valve is buried, creating a point for potential corrosion. Another key feature is that internal components are interchangeable with the AVK Series 45 and 65. And like with all of our products, any innovative changes can retrofit with products that have been sold at an earlier date. Next, the AVK Series 45 and 65 valve bodies are available equipped with the following in connections. You can see we have many in configurations available on both the 45 and 65. MJ by MJ, MJ by flange, flange by flange, push on by push on, and push on by flange are available for both series. Push on and MJ by tap for the Series 45, and for the Series 65, we also have the Hymax by flange and the Hymax by Hymax connection. Let's talk about the different flanged end connections as well as the Hymax grip. So first here we're going to look at the ASME Class 125 and 150 flanged valves. AVK offers Series 65 valves equipped with flanged end connections that comply with the bolting patterns required by the ASME flange standards that comply with either the Class 125 or 150 specification. The ASME, which is the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, designates that the Class 125 and the Class 150 flanges have the same identical bolt patterns. Class 125 and 150 flanges are flat-faced with no raised sealing surfaces. So here we have the Class 250. So because they have a higher working rating pressure, the Class 250 flanges are larger diameter, have more bolts, they're thicker, and they have a raised face that provides a higher clamping force to more firmly hold the flange gaskets in place. As you can see, there is a definite difference in the bolt patterns on the Class 125 and the Class 250. So here we have our Hymax grip. The Hymax grip is a fast and easy one-bolt connection that works for all pipe types, is flexible and self-restrained. The Hymax grip meets or exceeds all specifications of AWWA C219, NSF 61, and NSF 372. It has a minimum pipe insertion of 3.6 inches. Designed using Hymax's innovation and patented technologies, our flow control solutions work with ductile iron, PVC, and HDPE pipes and are suitable for a wide variety of applications. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the Hymax in connection available in flange by Hymax as well as Hymax by Hymax. Now let's talk about tapping valves. The Series 45 can be used as a tapping valve. Tapping valves are used in conjunction with a special tapping sleeve and a tapping machine to tap into another pressurized pipeline without the need to depressurize the pipeline being tapped. Tapping valves are typically configured with an MJ connection on one end and a special flanged end connection on the other end that also has a raised alignment ring machined on the inner edge of the flange face. The raised ring on the flange face fits into a recessed groove in the flange of the tapping sleeve to enable perfect alignment of the waterway in the valve with the waterway in the tapping sleeve. This alignment allows the pipe cutter on the tapping machine to pass through the valve and the tapping sleeve without damaging the coatings in either component. Tapping valves are equipped with special body castings that has the wedge cavity offset towards the flanged end of the valve. This allows enough room to retract the cutter after the cut has been made and close the wedge in order to remove the tapping machine from the now pressurized tapping valve. The Series 65 can also be used as a tapping valve, but it does not have a centering ring. Our Series 45 valve can also be used as a cut-in valve. A cut-in valve involves cutting the main water line and installing a new T, valve, and branch line. Cut-in valves are Series 45 MJ by MJ valves with one end machined to accommodate larger diameter pipe. Cut-in valves are used to connect old pit, cast gray iron pipe, asbestos cement pipe, and other pipe that may have a larger OD than current pipe. The cut-in valve is used, along with a cut-in sleeve, to insert a valve into this pipe when required. Cut-in sleeves are available from Star Pipe, not from AVK. Also, as a note, actuator valves are available in both OS&Y and NRS configurations. A special mounting flange is provided along with a specially machined stem so that an actuator may be installed onto the NRS or OS&Y Series 45 gate valves. The mounting flange and stem comply to the dimensional requirements of the ISO and the MSS standards for actuator installation. Actuator plates are included on valves to be used with motor operators. If an actuator is to be installed on a gate valve, it's best practice to order an NRS actuator valve. This valve ships complete with an actuator plate. AVK can then provide the end user with a worksheet to specify the actuator to be installed for their application. So here we have an example of an incorrect actuation setup. If you look closely at the photo and just under the actuator, you see a standard gland flange with lifting lugs. If the homemade bracket does not align the center line of the actuator perfectly with the center line of the stem, it can eventually damage or fracture the valve stem or the actuator. To correctly repair in the future, they would need to change the driving hub of the actuator. Here they have it squared and it needs to be bored and keyed. AVK Series 45 PIV valves have a mounting plate on the top flange of the valve to allow a post indicator to be installed. The Series 45 may also be used with the wall indicator, however, the wall indicator does not require a mounting plate. As I have mentioned, the Series 45 gate valves range from 2-inch to 16-inch and are available in NRS or OS&Y configurations. Hand wheels come standard on OS&Y valves and are available for NRS valves as an option, and actuators may also be installed. So that completes the overview of the Series 3, 45, and 65 gate valves. There are a lot of options, and I just tried to cover some of the features of these valves. If you want more detailed information on any of these valves, please feel free to contact me, our customer service, and we can help get you in contact with your local territory manager. One more thing to point out here on our website, AmericanAVK.com, you'll be able to find tons of different resources to help you out. There are data sheets, brochures, instructional videos available that help demonstrate how to install extension kits and traffic repair kits as well. The image on the bottom right is what highlights our AVK certified program. And this is a really neat tool that is free of charge to sign up. It is no cost to you or your organization. Anybody that wants to be registered, we put their email into the system and you can get enrolled to participate in over 25 different courses that we've got. The list grows every week, it seems, and there's always new material that cover industry standards to more specific information on AVK products. If you're interested, please let me or our customer service know, and we will do what we can to get you signed up. And lastly, here is my contact information, my cell phone and email, as well as our customer service. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions.